You know how I said on Thursday that there's basically this wiggling motion? You guys can see my cursor, right? It like kind of wiggles down like this. You can kind of see it. So with this first one, you can kind of see me wiggle. So if you kind of look at like the window, I guess, you can kind of wiggle, and like with this fang, again, you can see that I'm wiggling. Like if you look at this window here, you can see like it goes left, right, left, right. Yeah. So that's kind of what you want to do. This bit here is what I was talking about the other day, where you basically just hold one direction and move the other. So in this example, I'm holding A, which is left. A is left, like I'm moving this way. This is kind of bad to with my mouse. I'm moving left, but I'm strafing right with the mouse, and you see how it kind of all just like lines up. And somehow it just works. I don't know how it works, it just does. So you have these add-ons, right? I personally don't use these two. The iridescent ones are stupidly overpowered. One of them, when main event ends, you get your blades back, which is a quality of life, I guess. But this one here is essentially saying if you throw 4 knives into them, you can insta-down them. So it's kind of like the iridescent hatchet, which insta-downs people, except you have 44 of them. I'm going to talk through the purple ones, because the purple ones change the way the knives operate, like work. So the first one is cut through you. It's basically good for body blocking, right? This one's fairly simple. I would personally, if you hate body blocking, this is very good at the end game. So when all of the exit gates are powered and they are, you got a person on the hook and you're camping them, you got 4 survivors standing in a line. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to do it in blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. Killer's standing here, throwing knives. Your first knife will do this. They get 100%. They get 50. When this person inevitably goes down after so many knives, your blades will then do this. And they will get another 100%. This guy will get 50. I have a clip of this where I got 4 survivors and I just lobbed knives at them straight, and I wanted to see how many knives it took to down them all like dominoes. The second one is Diamond Cufflinks. This one's also fairly simple. It just reveals your aura. Reveals someone's aura when you're 1 away from laceration. So that's fairly simple. This Edge of Revival one is the splash one I was talking about, and this one's quite interesting. You know the loop, which is like this? It's kind of got like, there's a pallet here. That's supposed to be a pallet. Quite often what the survivor will do is they will stand here and they will use their camera. So if this is their camera, they're in third person, right? So they have like a camera like behind them and they're looking, this is like their line of sight. They're looking to see like where I'm going to go. They like, I might be here, I might be here. So if I'm here and I have the splash add-on, you can shoot, if you shoot here, it will splash onto them. And it works on the other side. If you're here, you can shoot here, it will splash onto them. And they will panic. And it also works when, say the survivor throws the pallet, like this. So typically you're on one side, the survivor's on the other. But the survivor will kind of hide out of line of sight, but they will still be waiting behind this corner. The camera will be here, they'll be like looking at you. And you can throw knives at the floor here and it will splash onto them. Similar to Bouncy Blades, right? Everyone knows about the Bouncy Blades. When you use Bouncy Blades, say if you're sitting here, the survivor's like here, camping the pallet. Or if it's, like, it could be like normal or it could be thrown already. If you throw the knife at the wall, it'll bounce like that. Which works. It also works the other way around. If you're sitting here, throwing pallet here, the survivor is waiting here with their camera, like looking over here to see where you're going to go. You can shoot a knife here, and it should bounce here, but it takes a little bit of work. I would personally recommend, if you're a beginner to Trickster, is this Edge of Revival album is a godsend. So you might have noticed it in the last game we played. The survivor like hugs your feet, right? And you're like aiming at their feet. You're aiming down. Even if you miss them, say you're not quite comfortable with your aim yet, and you miss them, it could still hit the ground and splash onto the near them. So you still get value out of them, even if you even if you miss, if that makes sense. That's a really good one for beginners. I would avoid these Ripper Brace, this watch. It basically just extends your main event, and Laceration Decay. It's kind of not very good. The rate of fire ones, mind you, are quite interesting. So basically when you... at base, right? This is base speed. He moves at 110. When you start throwing the blades... start throwing. I think you move at just below nurse, so I think it's about 87%. Or it's 90, I can't actually remember. It's 87% to 90. If you hold down the button, if you hold your knife, hold throw, I'm going to call it, you actually move at about 67%. And if you think that nurse... okay, so survivors, right? Survivors move at 100. So you can imagine that, like, that's a significant difference. So you're never going to catch up, basically. The rate of fire increases this. So if you're running the rate of fire add-ons, it will say... I'm really butchering this. So the rate of fire ones, just to clarify, is the green one. Fizz Spin Soda, it says decreases the number of blades required to reach maximum throw rate. And the one underneath, G Wounds Autograph, is the same thing. So those ones, yeah, you throw faster, but it also decreases this. I think you might move around 65. These values might be bollocks, by the way. I'm pretty they're close enough from what I read online, but they might not be exact. But you get the point. So personally, unless you're really confident with your blades, I would not run these rate of fire ones, because you're gonna lose so much distance. You're gonna run really, really slow. So a good add-on combination for beginners, I would recommend the Edge of Revival and the Cage Heart's Shoes. That's a good combo. Do that. Paste it down here. That's a good combo for beginners. If you're confident with your aim, I would recommend these two. This is why I call them machine gun build. Both rate of fires, you're going to move insanely slow, but if you're confident with your aim, then you can down people incredibly quickly. Bouncy Blade combo is also a thing, but I find that the Bouncy Blades, if you're trying to down them around corners, you're not going to know exactly where they are, so it might require trial and error. So some extra blades might be handy. This one gives you 8 more blades with the ricochet, which is very, very handy. So that's if you want to try like some cool shit. Both of the movement speed add-ons are quite nice. So the Caged Heart Shoes increases your movement by 2.5 when you're holding them. And there's also a brown one, I think it's the Killing Part Cords. This is both movement. So I think that's it's 3.5%. So if you want to be fast while you're holding your knives, you want to like go around the loops, that's quite a nice one. As I say, the duration, these ones over here, the Tequila Moonrock, the main event duration ones, see increase main event by 25 and by 50. I wouldn't recommend these. These are kind of rubbish. These ones here, like, increase main event of, like, whatever. If you're, I guess, like, these ones where it's, like, increase the time before they start decaying. They're good on maps where there's lots of, like, a line of sight breaks, so you don't want it to, like, start ticking down. I personally don't really rate them. I don't think they're very good, but, they're good for some. At the same time, if you want to experiment with the Bouncy Blades, but you don't know where the survivor's going to be, you could pair it with this one, which is the aura reading one. When they're one away, you can see them. So that might help you aim your Bouncy Blades, if that makes sense. So if you see them like around the corner, you could think, okay, I need to do it here. So that's quite a good combo.